Hello, I'm Dr. Margaret, and I'm very focused on children right now, and I'd like to talk to you about our ways of dealing with these young people. First of all, I need to ask you, have you been having a problem with your child lately? Have you noticed that your children don't seem to behave the way you want them to behave? Does it seem like they've got an issue or a problem that they're hiding from you? You know, all over the world right now, children are being bombarded by energy from other children and from adults who don't understand them. So what I want to talk about right now is not only bullying, but the many other aspects of situations that children seem to go through. We've had some very bad things happening around the world. Kids killing kids, kids being killed by late teenagers or early youth, young men, Women a little bit more sedate. They tend to scream and come at you with nails flying. The thing about bullying and all the things that go on in their lives is that it's been going on for thousands of years. Bullying is not new. In fact, when I was a child in school, it was not unusual for the teachers to yell and scream at us, even hit our hands with rulers. And I hear from my father that he had to go to the headmaster, who would bend him over the desk and then strap him with a cane. And often there was a strapping for no reason beyond the fact that he had maybe forgotten to give a couple of pennies to some teacher or some other student who'd complained. And there was no one in those days to go running back to. You were supposed to bear it, grin, smile, carry on. When I was in school, my maiden name was Pogson, P.o.g.s.o.n. All the kids decided a corruption of it from Poggy to Piggy was ideal. So I was plagued. I was upset. I moaned and groaned and said, "Don't call me that." But I soon learned that if I didn't reply, if I just said, "Okay, whatever," they got bored. They stopped bullying me. Okay, I got called Poggy for the rest of my life in school, but I learned to live with it. It's just a question of adapting. But if you don't have anyone to talk to, if you don't have anyone who's going to be there for you, it can be very difficult. I was fortunate. I'm very psychic. So even when I talked to my parents, who were there for me, they were the old style. They were like, well, when we were kids, we got walloped all the time, and we got stood in a corner, we got pulled around by our ears and hair and whatever. Why are you moaning and groaning? It's part of life. Grow up. But I listened to my spirit guides. And my spirit guides told me something that was so valuable, and I've used it throughout my life. When someone is yelling at you, when someone is right over you like this, and I'm coming into you right now, and they're looking at you and yelling and screaming at you, you look in their eyes as I'm looking in yours. And I say, "You're beautiful when you're angry," in a nice voice. Or, "I get you. I understand." There's a different meeting of minds. Eye to eye, heart to heart, soul to soul. In that moment, there's a connection. And in that moment, whoever's being violent feels it. And they weaken their grip for a minute. I'm going to tell you a story. I was doing something I was not supposed to do. I was taking a quick shortcut through the park to my home when I was about 15, when 4 boys popped up from behind bushes. Their conversation, basically, use your imagination, was they wanted their way with me. Each one was deciding who was going to go first, etc. I struggled, I kicked, I yelled, I screamed. There was no one there, only me and these 4 boys. And in that moment I thought, the more I struggle, the more they're going to think they're enjoying me. So instead of screaming, yelling, I calmed down, I thought, I noticed, I saw, and one of them, I looked at him in the eyes and I said, so have you done it before? In that moment I knew he was a virgin. In that moment I kicked out and found the right mark between his legs. He screamed, the others let go. I was up and I ran so fast. I got home pretending nothing had happened and walked in the door. My parents looked at me and went, oh my God, what happened? My shirt was torn. My nylon hose were shred. I was a mess. Okay, so they got away with it. We don't know who they were. But I learned something that day. I learned to stay cool in the face of adversities. And more importantly, I learned to listen to my inner voice, my psyche, if you like, or even more so, my spirit guides. So why am I talking about this? Children today are being born, like I was all those years ago, very psychic. Children today are dealing with parents who have no idea what psychic senses are. So when their children come to them and say, I saw a spirit in my room, or I heard a voice talking to me, like grandma's better and she's in heaven, Mum and Dad look at their child sweetly and say, oh, how nice, now run along, and they don't understand it's real to the child because they've really seen that person. They don't understand that their child is using their psychic senses. So a valuable moment of sharing is lost, and with it, a valuable lesson in how to deal with other kids that are bullies. You know, if a child is being bullied, it's because their spirit self shows through. They're very sensitive. They're empathetic. They're sympathetic. And when the other kids see that, they want to push that away. They're not sure how to use their own, so they go into a battle mode. Really what they're saying is, I'm afraid of you because you're different from me. But the truth is they're not really different, they just haven't opened up their awareness to the psyche. There might be a reason. Maybe throughout this life they don't want to use it. They want to be very cool and down to earth and just practical, like being an engineer. Other kids might want to have it because they want to use it and become an artist or a sportsman or even teach. So, why am I here? What I'm doing is I'm trying to reach out to all you young mothers and fathers and say to you, you had generations of parents like me who didn't know about the paranormal, the psychic things. They were taught in church, synagogue, or wherever they were, temple, that the paranormal was evil or strange or different, and run away from it, hide, don't use it. So you can imagine how I felt being born during World War II to find that there was no one who was psychic like me in my vicinity. No one at all. So I had nobody to talk to, nobody to share. If I tried to share it, I was told I was strange, weird. I got victimized for it. Well, I'm happy to say that today there's lots of developed psychic medium healers, teachers, authors and so on around for you to listen to and to learn from, including myself. I'm very proud of the fact that we have currently sumariseducationcenter.com, and on there you're going to find level 1 psychic development. It's 10 modules, and I'm going to teach you how to see and use your psychic senses. As mother, father, you're going to be able to help your teenagers and even the young babies as soon as they can toddle to understand that they are psychic, they are empathetic, they are sympathetic to everyone else in the world, and they can feel what's going on. So as a mum or dad, if you have problems, don't push it under the carpet and tell them there's nothing wrong.
Instead say, Mum, Dad, we have a problem, we're sorting it. We're not quite sure what to do, we'll sort it out. Your child's going to feel that positive statement, learn from you that there is a way to improve things for things to become better. So over time, they're not going to be psychologically down, but rather up in expectation of change, spirit growth, and every opportunity that brings earth. Recently, I had a young girl, she was leaving school and she was going for a job. And she said to me, I really want a job, but I don't know if they like me. I said to her, wait a minute. It's not whether they like you, it's whether you like them. Whether you want them in your life. Now, you've said you want to work for this company, but I have to say to you, do you feel that's your step, that it's really what you want? She said yes, she was all excited. So I said, okay, when you go for an interview, think of it as audition. You are auditioning the thing that's in you. If they're one in life. If you had an interview, this is blessed. For she know that she went in, she did exactly what I needed to do. And ended up that the person who interviewed her was all